Embrace your beauty inside the world of a modern beautician and foodie. Welcome back to The Passionate Palate, a podcast for food lovers and culinary explorers where we talk about various foods, flavors, and ingredients from around the world. I'm your host, Zay. My special guest today is a licensed cosmetologist, hairstylist, bridal specialist, and content creator who inspires people to embrace their own beauty. And guess what? She's also a foodie at heart. Please welcome Tabitha Gessling. Hi, Tabitha. Welcome to my show.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
It's such a pleasure. I'm so excited that you're here. And so let's start. Let's dive right in. Since you're a foodie, let's start with a quick one. If you could have only one dish before doing bridal makeup, what would it be?
So there's a local restaurant in Parsippany where I live, and their name is Shan Shan Noodles, and they have this dish that's hand pulled noodles, and they toss it with hot spicy chili oil with like
Oh,
carrots, and bean sprouts, and a little bit of celery in there, and it is always my go-to for when I need something that I know is going to make me feel good and fuel me
right.
throughout the day. Probably say the hand-pulled noodles in
Wow,
a
that
good
sounds
spicy oil.
delicious.
Yeah, they're
That's
so good.
awesome. Do you believe there's a connection between how we eat and how we feel about our beauty?
Absolutely. I think that beauty and food are very personal when you think about them. You know, it's a different routine, different rituals for, if you're just cooking something, if you're having a meal with friends. And I kind of see beauty in the same way. So I would definitely say they're hand in hand. You eat
Awesome.
things that make you feel good, you use
Mm-hmm.
products that make you feel good. I feel
Right.
like they're pretty much hand in hand.
I agree as well. So let's start right at the beginning. When did you first know you wanted to become a cosmetologist and hairstylist?
I was about 10 years old. It's been in
That's
this
sweet.
for most of my life.
Wow.
My mom was a huge inspiration for me. Back in when she was in her, like, teens to 20s, she went to cosmetology school and she worked in a salon.
Wow.
By the time I was born, she unfortunately stopped, but now she's back in it. She always had makeup in the bathroom, and I would watch her do her makeup.
Uh-huh.
So that turned into me playing with her makeup and realizing, "Oh, this is really fun." And just from there, I feel like it just pretty much sprouted and became such a huge part of my life.
Right. It's like I'm sure it was like a fascination as a child to see
Exactly.
everything. That's so cool.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So you specialize in bridal makeup and hairstyles. What's the most rewarding part of helping someone look their best on their big day?
Most rewarding. Just getting to spend the morning with different groups of people and or afternoon or evening, whatever it may be. The most rewarding part for me is being able to take those good vibes home and continue on with my day and knowing that they're having an amazing day and just
Right.
reflecting and saying I was a part of that. I'm grateful that I get to be a part of such a big moment for a lot of people.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So taking those vibes and the energy back with me, it's probably the most rewarding part.
That's awesome because I mean, we have experienced it ourselves with you having done our makeup. Because when my daughter in law, Sumaya, when you did her bridal makeup, you just made her look fabulous. You know, what I love about your style of makeup is that we look ourselves. We are not like disguised to look like somebody else. You know what I mean? When even when I got my makeup done by you as the mother of the groom, I just felt like you just enhanced what I already have,
Yes.
which I think is very different in this day and age when, when people do their makeup, they either want to look like somebody else and just your style feel like you took your time, you were patient, you were asking what look we want. And I found that very special and very different.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So you emphasize embrace your own beauty. What does that mean to you personally?
Ooh. To me personally, recalling back to why I started in the industry and that fascination, I never viewed makeup as a way to change the things I didn't like about myself. I feel like that's a common reason for why people wear makeup. especially here in the US,
Right.
it's like, "Oh,
Right.
I don't like my under eye circles. Oh, I don't like this." Where I was very young, so I saw it as a way of self-expression and just making yourself feel pretty, right? It wasn't
Right.
necessarily covering, it was enhancing. So, embracing your beauty isn't covering it with 3 layers of foundation.
Mhm.
Taking into account your skin tone, your shape, what you have going on, and working with it, and embracing what you have and enhancing that rather than covering it.
It makes so much sense, you know? Like sometimes you see videos and it's okay, I'll give you a perfect example. So when I was little, there was this aunt that I know of, and I had seen her as a bride because I was a little girl when she got married. And I had seen her as a bride and she looked beautiful, she looked glamorous. And then there was another wedding in the family and my mom was getting her hair done. So we were in the salon and then she walks in and then like, I was like, who's this? Like, I don't recognize her. And then later, my mom got talking to her about her wedding, and then I realized this was the same person. And then I remember I was like, wait, this is not what you look like on your wedding day. You look like a totally different person. And when I looked at her, I was like, these two can't be the same person. Like, I don't know. This is like sometimes makeup is used as a form of disguise. And that's something that I'm so happy that when you did our makeup, that you just that wasn't your approach, which I was so happy and thankful for. And I think more people need that outlook in life and that kind of makeup done where it's subtle but still glamorous and beautiful. You
Absolutely.
know?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what beauty myth or misconception do you wish people would let go of?
There's so many.
I know, right? And especially in
My
like
god.
2025.
Yeah, there's so many. Oh my gosh. Um, beauty myth or misconception?
Do you find that when people come to you, they come with like they say certain things and you're like you kind of like, no, it's not necessarily that, and then you help them with their makeup or advise them how they want their makeup done?
In terms of, like, our complexion and
Mm-hmm.
concealer particularly. So to kinda break it down, so concealer is typically used to conceal any blemishes or,
Right,
kinda even out any skin tone aside from a foundation. It's usually a more full coverage, right?
right,
So, a big misconception, and I feel like this has been going on for years now, is that your concealer needs to be at least 2 to 3 shades lighter than your foundation shade.
right. I've heard about that too.
Yeah. So, which for some people it works, I mean, beauty is subjective. Everyone has, their preferences. There's different artists that like different things. But for me personally, your concealer should be the same shade as your foundation
Wow.
and
Okay.
should not be applied directly with the doe foot or the applicator that
Right.
comes
Right.
out of the product. Reason why I'm picking that one, I see it so often with like a beauty influencer, not necessarily a makeup artist, but someone that's a
Okay.
beauty influencer. They're taking the entire product in the triangle underneath the eye, or
Right.
they're just using so much. And then the complaint is, oh, it's creasing.
Yes. Yes.
So it's like, "Oh, the product's bad," because it's usually not the best way to use it, and I feel like it's kind of been a normalized routine now that the
Mm-hmm.
everyday person is thinking, "Oh, I need to put this much concealer," and the truth is you don't. Yeah.
Wow.
That's usually the first question I'll always get when someone sits in my chair. They're like, "My concealer always creases, it never
Right.
stays."
So you
So
believe
that's
like
always
less is more? Like less
less
is
is
more, you would believe?
less is so much more. It
Right.
is especially with high pigment products like that, like a
Right.
concealer or pretty much any complexion, work your way up. It's easier to add on than to take away.
Exactly. That's so true. So you're a content creator and a social media marketer. How do you balance creativity in beauty with strategy in marketing?
I find for myself, I've had a lot of time to kind of realize what I want in a job and what I don't want. And I've realized very quickly that I like it when no day is the same. So it kind of makes it easy for me with that mindset. So, I'll spend 2 or 3 days out of the week doing makeup, and I'll dedicate those days only to makeup and doing clients and restocking my kit. And the other days I'll take to manage my clients or send out creative briefs or work on my own personal social media. So, having the flexibility to be able to split up my week like that, it's a huge game changer, but I realize that's not the case for a lot of people. If you work a 9 to 5 or if you have, like, a corporate job, I would say just really taking the time to set out a schedule. That's pretty much what I do.
All right.
Dedicating certain times to certain whatever you're doing, if it's marketing, if it's beauty or, um, podcast, taking the time to split up what time you do have, but also making sure you're taking care of yourself.
Right. Absolutely. It's like organization, is key. Yeah.
Exactly. Time management, organizing, that's the key to everything.
Yeah. That's awesome. Do you think social media pressures people or helps them embrace their beauty more?
If you would have asked me this 5 years ago, I would have said it pressures people. But now I feel like with the climate that we're in, it it's a mix of both, depending on what platforms you're using. I really feel like this is the social media and me coming out. In particular, I feel like TikTok really emphasizes embracing your own. With a lot of the content creators that are on there, they're really talking about, "Hey, here's a product that I like. It might work for you, it might not." There's so many pro makeup artists and hairstylists out there sharing their unfiltered opinions and giving direct responses to questions, right? Where I feel like on a platform like Instagram, it's a little more idealized. You get
Yeah.
the photo editing, you get all that fun stuff.
Right.
So there's a lot of pressure there. I would definitely say you see it
Right.
on TikTok too, not to say that it doesn't exist,
Right.
but
Right.
I feel like with how many different platforms there are now, you can really it can go either way, but
Hmm.
I would like to think that it helps everyone embrace their beauty.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense because like on Instagram, you'd see more like, like the slide, like the pictures, right? And some of them are so heavily filtered.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas a TikTok, I notice, I mean, people do makeup tutorials on Instagram too, but I feel like TikTok, they approach to people is like you're approaching like strangers. Like
Yes,
Instagram, like it's more people who know you that follow you, right? Unlike TikTok. So
absolutely.
yeah, because sometimes like, like say I want to do the smoky eye. I'm obsessed with like the cat eye and the smoky eye. So more than Instagram, I go to TikTok because I find that that's where I will find tutorials of how to do it, what colors, like say, for example, the smoky eye on brown eyes.
Yes.
And then you'd see like a whole variety. So in that aspect, I think it helps people more than pressures, but I think the pressure comes from wanting to look like somebody else. Would you agree?
100%. I see this all the time whenever I ask someone for an inspiration photo for
Right.
what they would like their makeup to look like,
Huh?
and I kid you not, 9 times out of 10, it is an AI photo or it is heavily, heavily, heavily filtered. And they're
Wow.
like, "This is what I want." And I'm like, "Do you know that this is filtered?" And they're like, "Yeah, but I really like her skin and her
Wow.
eyes and her
Right,
eye
right,
shape. It's not real."
right.
So
But
I see that.
that's how good this AI thing has become these days because it looks natural, it looks normal.
It does. It can add some pores in and it
Yeah?
really I've had a hard time, honestly, sometimes deciphering if it's AI or if it's not.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a little crazy. So I definitely agree. I feel like more of the photos really give this idealized version that people
Right,
want to see and want to be.
right. Unless
Yeah.
somebody's like, nope, this is what I wanted. This is what I want you to do.
Yeah, I've had that. I've
Right?
had that a couple times.
That's gotta be tough. So
Yeah.
if a young hairstylist or makeup artist is listening right now, what's one tip you'd give them to stand out online?
Ooh. Just post. Just anything you have, especially if you're in cosmetology school or you're learning from YouTube videos or you're in an academy for makeup. Anything that you do, just post it. No judgment. That's like, I wish I had this advice because people are going to see what you're doing and they're going to want to follow your journey, right? even if they're a stranger or if it's your aunt or your best friend's sister, people are going to love and support you in so many different aspects of your life. This, if you're choosing this as a career,
Right.
I would say don't be afraid to just post it, even if you're not happy with the blend of the outer corner or the mascara is a little chunky. Just post it. Get over the fear of posting because when you do finally perfect what you're doing, it's
Right.
gonna really make a difference.
Yeah, I think that's great advice, Tabitha. It really is. As a foodie, do you ever connect food with beauty? Like, say, comfort food, glowing skin food, or even messy food moments that still make you feel beautiful?
Yes, definitely. Like I said earlier, food and beauty kind of go hand in hand, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in this sense, comfort food and like messy food moments, I really think that perception of beauty and in terms of like makeup, it changes day to
Mm-hmm.
day, right?
Yeah,
Maybe you see
true.
something that inspires you. Maybe, you wake up and you feel a little more puffy around the eyes, right? So you'll
Right,
kind of
right.
adapt and change. With food, it's the same thing. You have a craving. It's
Mm-hmm.
cold outside. You're not feeling great.
Right,
Things
right.
like that, you kind of adapt, right?
Mm-hmm.
Comfort food for me, I have a go-to makeup look. This is usually it for
Right.
when I know I need to look good, I know I need to feel
Uh-huh.
good, definitely hand in hand with the comfort food. So, I would
Right.
100% say, you know, food and beauty really hand in.
That's cool. That's true. So, what's your ultimate treat yourself meal after a long day of styling weddings?
Ooh, yourself.
Is it something
I
sweet, something savory?
In a perfect world, it would be something really carb heavy. I love carbs.
Yeah, me
Something
too.
really carb heavy. So, whether it be like a pasta or like
Hmm.
a potato, like something like good
Yeah,
and heavy that's gonna really like
right.
make me feel good, and then always a little sweet treat after.
Yep. That
Yeah,
sounds
I
like
love
something I love too.
yeah, like, for me, like, a good sweet treat is, like, chocolate with some sort of fruit, whether it be,
Okay.
like, a chocolate cake with strawberries or yeah, something of that nature, that's
Right,
always,
right.
like,
Or do you
ugh,
like chocolate covered strawberries or like those chocolate strawberry cup things that are like the Dubai
yes,
chocolate straw? That's so good.
they're
Yeah.
so good. So that, if I've had a long day,
Hmm.
I'm going to ShopRite, I'm going to Wegmans, I'm going to make something.
You know, the funny thing is food and beauty. Like beauty, sometimes it's not just makeup, right? It's who you are as a person. Like you have to be beautiful as a person. And that beauty, I think, shines more than any makeup can. And makeup just enhances that. If you have to be
Absolutely.
beautiful inside. And for me, I feel like maybe because I'm a foodie, like I feel like when you eat something that makes you happy, that makes you more beautiful. I don't know. Like that's what I feel. Don't you kind of see that? Like how it goes hand in hand?
100%. If you're eating something that's, like, really making you feel good or,
Right.
if I'm at a restaurant and I'm at an open kitchen and I'm seeing it be prepared, I'm
Mm-hmm.
getting more excited, I feel like there's a glow afterwards, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like, you just everything kinda uplifts and you feel so much better and you look so much better.
Absolutely. So that's cool. So if beauty and food were a fusion, what dish would best describe your personality? I like that question.
I really like that question. Ooh. So if beauty and food were
A fusion.
a fusion, what dish would it be?
Yeah. What dish would best describe your personality?
Okay. Ooh. I feel like with my makeup style and like with what I do, I do a lot of bridal. I would definitely call myself a
Right.
bridal specialist.
Right.
But a lot of my time I also spent in editorial with lots of
Okay.
outlooks and applications. So I kind of almost want to tie that in. Food and beauty. I feel like it'd have to be some kind of soup,
Really?
okay? But with some aspects to it that are like a little non-conventional, right?
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, like a wonton soup, let's say, but the wontons are a little spicy,
Okay.
something like that.
Right. Yeah. That is
So
so cool. That's interesting. A little
Yeah,
kick of spice,
yeah, a little
in
something.
there.
There's a little
Mm-hmm.
like, "Ooh, what is that?"
Right, right,
It's like, it's natural, it's healing,
right,
it can be comforting, and I feel like that's a
right.
lot of my makeup style, but there's a little spice in
Yeah,
there.
yeah, little spice. I love that. I love that. That's so awesome. Okay,
You.
I know you mentioned a restaurant right at the start, but if I had to ask you, what's your favorite restaurant and what's your favorite dish of all times? What would you say?
Hmm.
I mean, it doesn't matter if you have a few. Like I know it's hard to
Yeah.
say that's one, but
Yeah,
if you
exactly.
look at a few and then decide, wait, this is it.
Okay. Okay. This is such a hard question for me because 'cause I'm always trying new restaurants. So, I would say 100% Shan noodles is up there. They're definitely
Wow.
one of my comfort foods. They have such a good variety of things that I have my go-to, which is that hand-pulled noodle and the spicy oil, but
Wow.
they have a dish that's mapo tofu, so it's like a ground beef with tofu over rice,
Mm-hmm.
a little spicy. Everything from there is so good. But I also have to give a shout out to in Rome, there's a restaurant called L'Orso, which is
Okay.
the bear, and
Yeah,
they
yeah,
have
yeah. I
this
think it's
dish.
it's yeah. In Spanish,
Yeah,
it's also is bear too. In Italian, is it
exactly.
bear means bear too?
Yes,
That's so
same
cool. Okay.
thing.
Okay.
So good. They have this salmone alla linguine, I believe, or alla
Okay.
pasta. It's I'm not Italian, obviously, but, it's salmon that's, like, cooked with a lot of herbs broken down into, like, a
Mm.
cream sauce over
Oh,
handmade
sounds so good.
fettuccine.
Oh,
That I think about that dish at least once a week.
wow.
Really
That
wish I
good,
could,
huh? Wow.
I cried when I ate it. It was that good. So, that's why I'm mentioning it.
That sounds delicious.
Yes, so, so, so good. If you can ever get to Rome,
Oh,
100%, you gotta get there, and that restaurant in particular, everything was perfect
wow.
about it. So, so good.
You make me want to take a trip there just for that dish because that sounds so
Yes,
good.
it yes.
All right, let's do a quick rapid fire round. Okay, it's
Okay,
fun, quick questions. Coffee
okay.
or tea?
Coffee,
Hair up or
definitely.
hair down?
Ooh, depends on the day, but I'm gonna say hair down.
Okay. Dessert first or main course first?
Dessert first. You need a little something. You need a little aperitivo.
Yeah. Bold lipstick or natural gloss?
Bold lipstick, definitely.
Bold.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely. Bold lipstick.
Okay. Street food or fine dining?
Street food, definitely.
Yeah. Favorite childhood dish?
I used to do mac and cheese, the Kraft mac and cheese
Okay.
with hot sauce
Classic.
and black pepper. That was
Wow. Really? You like
hot
that
sauce and black
combination?
pepper. So good.
Wow. I got to try that. That sounds good.
Yeah, it really, really good.
Best hair product of all time.
Milkshake, it's a brand out of Italy. They make a product called 12 Effects, so it
Mm-hmm.
has 12 different benefits to it, and it's an a leave-in conditioner type of application. I
Wow.
cannot live without it. It is the best product. It's like heat protecting, conditioning, smoothing, anti-frizz,
Wow.
everything in one bottle. That's
That's
the perfect product.
and it's available here. It's
It is
available in the local stores. Okay.
it is,
Nice.
you might have to find a local salon that sells it, but here in North Jersey, there's so many. If you just
Okay.
look up Milkshake USA, you'll be
Got
able to
it.
find it.
Got it. I got to look into that.
Yes.
One food you could eat every single day.
Noodles, any type,
Yeah.
just noodles, pasta,
Wow.
any type of stir fry.
Something so comforting about it, right? Like, I don't know
Yeah,
what it is. You can never
yes,
go wrong. You can never go wrong with noodles and
exactly,
pasta.
exactly.
Okay, this question I find is really interesting. So let's see what your answer is going to be. If you weren't a beautician, what would you be doing?
Mm. I thought about this for a while because I there was a point where I was like, "What if I don't wanna do this? Let me think of a backup plan."
Hmm.
I would definitely be in, live music management.
Live.
Managing live music artists, so bands that tour,
Wow.
artists that
Okay.
tour. I music is a huge part of my life, So
Right.
I always saw myself as like a band manager or a tour manager, something
Nice.
in that capacity.
Right.
There's always a part of me that's like, "Oh, I wish I did that," but I love what I
Yeah.
do. This is
Good.
this is what I do.
And it shows. And it shows. There's
Yes,
passion in what you do. And it shows that.
absolutely.
But that sounds interesting because you get to travel a lot. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, I love music. I'm not a musician. I cannot play
Okay.
an instrument to save my life, but to be around it and to,
Right.
help artists, like, get on tour and manage it and do
And
that,
do their makeup. So it's like a win-win.
exactly, exactly. So,
Oh,
yeah,
that's
definitely,
perfect.
that would probably be the career path if I wasn't a
Right.
musician.
That's awesome.
Thank
Okay,
you.
what's one piece of advice you'd give someone struggling with confidence in their looks? I think a lot of people need that, like
Yeah,
the
a lot of
advice
people
and
need this. There's a quote out there that says, "If you can't love yourself, how can anyone else love you?" And I think it's very direct in what it is.
the
I feel like there's so many people that really struggle with feeling confident in themselves and the way they look, based off of a number of factors. Your self, your face, your body, your entire being is what makes you you, right? So there's no one else like you out there. It's hard to just be like, "No, you're beautiful." Like,
right,
stop. It's really not such a straightforward answer, but taking the time to reflect and realize, like, this is how I was born,
hmm,
this is how I choose to be, whatever it may be. Where do I want to go? You shouldn't necessarily look for ways to change yourself or change your appearance, but
I love that.
find things that make you feel even more
Hmm.
beautiful.
Right,
So if it's a certain lipstick color, or if it's something like you like to wear a certain color or a certain way you do your hair, like,
right,
it's definitely something that I've done a lot in my life. I have, like, my comfort makeup, I have my comfort color, and if
right,
I'm not feeling great about myself and I'm not feeling confident, I'm gonna throw on green and I'm gonna make myself at least feel pretty, and fake it till I make it, But realizing what you are a gift in any capacity that you are, and taking that and trying to start resonating with that, I would say, is probably my biggest advice. Like, you're beautiful however you are, but
right,
really taking it and believing it and starting to
right.
reflect on it, I feel like that's probably the best advice I could give.
Yeah, I love that answer, Tabitha. And it's so true, especially to the youth in this day and age, when
Yes,
there's so much on social media that they see that, and magazine covers, and, you're wishing to literally look like somebody else, not even realizing that you may have certain features that others are looking at you and wishing they had.
exactly.
Right?
Yeah, that's so
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
So that's great advice. So where can people follow you, book you, and see your work?
Beautiful. Yay. So on Instagram,
Hmm.
TikTok, and my website is at Tabs Lookbook. To book me, I have a little contact on my website, which you can find through my Instagram page, or it's tabslookbook.com.
Okay,
Um,
perfect. Thank you so much, Tabitha, for sharing your beauty wisdom and foodie love with us. Is there anything else that you'd like to tell our listeners? Maybe some little beauty tips or advice or information?
support your local businesses, support your local artists, your local restaurants, your local coffee shop. That's my biggest advice.
That's
Support
awesome. That's
those around
great.
you.
That's great advice. Help each other out, right? That's awesome.
Exactly.
Thank you so much again for being my guest on today's episode. It was such a pleasure talking to you. And yeah, this brings us to the end of this episode of The Passionate Palate. I hope you guys enjoyed watching and listening to this beautiful yet delicious conversation. If you have any questions for Tabitha or me, please drop them in the comments. And for everyone listening, go check out Tabitha at Tab's Lookbook on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And if you're getting married anytime soon, if you're going to be the mother of the bride or the groom, or for any special occasion, give Tabitha a call, and she's the best. She truly is. And please subscribe to my channel at The Passionate Palate and follow me on my socials. And always remember, don't count the calories, count the delicious memories.